right, welcome back. This is Rob, Dave, and Triz, and we are Smoke and Mirrors. How you guys doing out there?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. Nice little Saturday here. The weather's becoming really nice here.
I know.
I like it.
It's too nice to stay inside.
That it is.
I've been doing homeschooling out in the sun. I know.
It works out better, huh?
See this tan I'm working on. Those are so white they're reflecting the light.
I got a year-round
tan, man. I got a year-round tan. Triz tan.
I get burnt and then I tan, and then it comes out there. All right, straight into them shits with streaming news there. So first off the bat, we got the new Hollywood golden boy Derek Kolstad, who he's just making everything, writing everything, hands in many pies to Hulsky and Disney. But this time he's working with Amazon.
Double D's, y'all. Double D's.
He's working with Amazon this time. They've just acquired this movie that he wrote called Coyote Blue. So this one's got Sterling K. Brown.
My God.
From This Is Us and The Predator. And he's almost like nobody. But this time it's nobody travels through the desert. But on his way there, this crime syndicate wants to stop him in his tracks in his road trip there. And he pulls out some deadly skills that nobody knew that he had.
It's like Nobody and Taken.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could say the man's pulled them out of the Coyote Blue if you wanted to.
But it sounds pretty good. I've never seen Sterling K. Brown in this form. And This Is Us is always crying, but he's a tank. You never see him get real aggressive. Because he's got anxiety and everything, so you don't really see it. Even in The Predator, his mouth work pause more than he did shooting and sort of hand to hand type shit pause again.
Yeah, it seemed like he's sort of like that in that other movie with Jodie Foster. It's called Hotel something.
Artemis,
yeah.
What do you call it?
His brother, he's doing a heist. His brother gets shot. They go to the hotel to heal up his brother. Yeah.
But this is more him sort of getting in that heavy action bag.
Yeah.
You see him getting his flamboyant bag in Brooklyn Nine-Nine. He plays a dentist that they're accusing of murder.
Oh, yeah.
That one's pretty good as well. Yeah.
It's fired out. Yeah, this is just Black Nobody. I swear to God, Derek Kolstad was like, I want to make Black Nobody, and Hollywood jumped on it like fucking nobody's business.
Black Nobody. If they put that shit out there, they get cancelled so fast.
Badly. Some good news, actually. This one. So Robert Rodriguez, who's, predominantly done everything over at bloody Miramax, when you think about it, has just signed a new deal over at HBO Max and HBO, I should say. Yeah. Not just HBO Max. So this deal allows him to sort of play with whatever Warner Media has. So that could be the DC stuff, it could be the Matrix, it could be anything really.
Yeah.
That falls under that banner. So he'll be able to use his own studio as well. So Troublemaker Studios will be able to go in there and do a few things and, finish off projects or take on new projects. And, there's a lot of new, sort of original stuff that he'd be able to do if he doesn't want to just use whatever, they have over at Warner Media.
Yeah.
So, thank God. This is a really good deal, especially for, he's been doing this for a while now.
He was almost independent.
He's the independent.
He created his own studio, made his own lane, did the movies that he wanted to do. It'd be funny to sort of see him, use, Warner's IPs, things that he hasn't created. I'd love to see an old man Desperado.
That's on the cards though already.
Hopefully.
Allegedly.
See it. Salma Hayek's still looking good.
Yeah.
what do you call it? Rodriguez could get in his Alita bag again and take on that Cyborg movie if they bring it out.
Yeah.
True.
I just hope they don't sort of fuck him around over there. Like they kind of do. It's like, who was talking about it? Miss Pat this week was talking about trying to get her show off the ground. Right, and that's just like a normal TV show, but it's like an old school sort of like, show, but they're swearing in there, obviously. So what's this face? Like them trying to get that project off the ground, like, she was saying like so many projects have come in, and unless you've got a producer in your corner, your project will just fail. You know what I mean? Like, and then fail and fail and fail until someone picks it up.
Yeah.
Right? They don't mess them around over there.
That's some scary shit.
But yeah, very exciting news.
Yeah.
But you reckon he gets 2 bags?
Of course.
Like he gets the producer, the studio bag. Because I almost took that article like if Warner's got something and they need a place to film it, it would be Troublemaker Studios.
Yeah, that's right.
I was thinking like money on top of what he's getting already.
Of course. You know who? Someone did something. I don't know what they did on the script, right? But because they did a little piece of that script, they changed some wording or something, right? They were entitled to a writer's credit on the script. Now, they didn't want to give them this person a writer's credit, so all they did was, okay, you're a producer in the film.
Ah, wasn't it Argo?
Must have been. Something like that.
Well,
you're a producer now. Yeah. Wow.
That is wild.
Yeah.
Bro. Well, fingers crossed, man. I fucking love Rodriguez. Yeah. But we got some new information on the Hulu Hellraiser that's coming out as well. So David Bruckner had an interview and he was just talking about how Hellraiser itself is going to be something like a small reimagining. They're still going to stick pretty close to the source material. So the Barker small novella that he did as well. But they're saying that they are going to change a few things around, which sounds exciting. And we're going to see this, and then we're also going to see that HBO version of Hellraiser as well. So I'm excited to see both, but this sounds interesting to me. If they can keep it in that small nitty-gritty section that the original was in, I'll be fucking happy with it.
Yeah, man. Because that original, it had some stuff, but it wasn't over the top.
Yeah. And I think the biggest thing for me was just the recreation of everything and how the puppeteering actually worked.
Yeah.
So when you see they look under the floorboards and you see them slowly coming back together like that.
Yeah.
If they can go back to that OG shit like that as well, fire.
Yeah. Well, there's also something in how he comes back. You know how Frank comes back? So in the book, when he gets sucked into hell, he he experiences all the sensations of everything that he's kind of gone through in his life, and the O just whips it out, beats it, and busts a nut straight on the floor.
I know,
and no one cleans that attic.
I wanted to see if I could show you guys the book, but I don't know where it is. It's somewhere there.
I've got it at my place.
You've got it. That's where I saw it.
But he busts a nut.
Stop stealing my props, guys!
And then, comes back through that DNA, basically. That's what he grows out of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just a big semen
monster.
Essentially
gave birth to himself.
He fucked himself. This should be good, man. I don't know about this whole reimagining thing though. We'll see how we go. If they are gonna
every time they touch Barker's work, and it's usually Barker himself, they change something. There is something reimagined.
Of course.
I know in The Forbidden, that was a London-based story. You know what I mean? It wasn't about Cabrini Green and everything that kind of went on there. So, yeah, they'll probably change something small. But then we get, 2. It's always, this big studio that does something, and then it's the Hulu one.
Where's the other one at?
Triz said WB.
Is that like the full platinum
HBO, yeah.
Right.
So Clive Barker's behind the WB one, but not this one.
Mm.
Yeah, so David Gordon Green's behind the HBO one.
Yeah. David Gordon Green being just like throwing lightning.
For Hayden. I know.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, but
same spot twice, man.
We'll see. Like, sometimes lightning don't strike the same fucking place twice. We'll see how they go with that.
Hopefully, like, this next piece of news, like, hits. Because it sounds like it could be a pretty good premise. So, Dark City from back in the, I think, late 90s, 99 maybe, right before The Matrix dropped. There was Dark City. And then The Matrix came out.
Quite a long time before The Matrix dropped.
Yeah. Maybe like 2 years or something. I don't know. Maybe it was a 97 movie. But visionary director Alex Proyas jumped on that shit, brought it to life.
Aussie royalty. Aussie royalty.
And now he's come back with a short. So none of the characters have returned from like Rufus Sewell or Kiefer Sutherland or Jennifer Connelly. But it's a new character, female antagonist, and she starts noticing people moving shit in the real world. And then the antagonists are back. You know, those bold, like, leather-clad...
mysterious ones?
I want to say Cinnabites, but that's Hellraiser.
Yeah.
It's not them.
They're like pinless pinheads.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're coming back for this one. But he said,
that's
like...
weird. That's weird, though. They kind of get destroyed in the movie.
But maybe this is a prequel.
Could be.
But yeah, he's saying, like, this is one piece of, like, a bigger sort of project that he's working on where he wants to really bring Dark City into, like, a TV show. But he said he's just working out, like, all bases, basically.
Bro, what do you call it? Every time I think of Dark City, I think of, what's that Edgar Wright movie? Last Night in Soho? Last Night in Soho gives me Dark City vibes, but more horror.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if it has that vibe to it, I'll be pretty happy.
Yeah. I think I watched it 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago. And it literally is The Matrix.
Yeah.
Right? Like, everything is stolen from that movie. I don't know, like, it's so weird that they do that over at New Line.
True.
Because both of them were New Line Pictures, yeah? And then you have two competing movies of the exact same thing. Like, it's just weird.
I think Matrix was Roadshow.
Which is still New Line subsidiary.
Of Warner.
Which is New Line. Yeah. New Line was their... that's where they do it's like Touchstone for Disney, right? Yeah. So New Line would be where they do all their hardcore sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Which is why Nightmare on Elm Street was there, which is why they bought What's-His-Face, Friday the 13th, and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. I don't know. I'm excited.
Same, man.
I'm excited for that. Dark City was always just the slower Matrix. It was the Matrix without the action.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forget what they were using the humans for, though. You know, in the Matrix, it's like for power.
They use them to continue their life. So the lives that the humans live will extend their life because something happened to them beforehand.
So it's legit the Matrix.
Literally, it's exactly the same now. And Sewell's character is literally just someone that could change things in the Matrix. He was Neo. It's exactly the same character. He wakes up with amnesia and doesn't know who he is, whereas Neo was living essentially with amnesia and not knowing who he is. Yeah.
Can you imagine if Sewell's character comes back bald?
That'd be cool. Like, even though he essentially changed the world back, like he showed the people of, the city exactly what this world could be. Exactly, it was exactly the same thing. He essentially, instead of flying up towards the screen, he he creates that beach, the beach that everyone sort of knows where it is, but can't get there or can't remember how to get there. He creates that beach. Yeah,
I gotta watch Dark City again.
It's good, man. It's really, really dark. Really, yeah, it's cool.
I think the last time I watched Dark City was the DVD.
Jesus, I think that's the same time I watched it too.
Just remember that was them DVD covers where it was like a cardboard front and you click the side open and add the disc in there.
Worst covers.
You know, people were just ripping that front page.
For some reason, I just see them like foot in the middle.
Like Dennis Rodman opening up shoeboxes. Have you guys seen that?
No.
You know how you would open up a normal shoebox, right? So if it like opens up this way, you just like, you know, untuck that little thing in the front. And Dennis Rodman rips the whole front of that bloody what's his box off. It's the worst. It's the worst way I've seen a shoebox open before. How are you supposed to put shoes back in there, man? I get Dennis anywhere once and then that's a wrap.
Oh, hands down.
He was opening some bloody Yeezys, man. They were like 350 boosts. Jeez. He just ripped that box open. What is wrong with you?
Why is that so funny?
Rodman is a savage.
Oh, fuck.
Alright, so Noah Hawley of Fargo fame sat down, I think right now is the Television Critics Association. They're doing a tour right now. And they actually sat down with Noah Hawley, and Noah Hawley touched on what the new Alien series is going to be like, right? So he wants it. I think who's writing it? Someone's writing it now. Yeah, someone's writing it now, but it's going to be a really sort of what's the word? Not real.
Grounded.
Yeah, a really grounded take on this whole thing. So just like the other movies were before, the most exciting thing in those movies or sci-fi thing in those movies was the fact that, yes, they were traveling through space, but there was an alien out there. So he wants it to be really, really grounded and really faithful, really, to the series, he said, of films. So not just one film, but everything that's come before it, right? So this could mean that, everything is in the fold.
How much?
Aliens 1 to 4 and what's his face? AVP.
What about Prometheus and Covenant?
It could. I don't see why not. All of that sort of stuff happened beforehand, so allegedly beforehand. We don't know.
Where would you prefer this, to sit, though? Like, if it's in between the movies, would you prefer it to be, in between Aliens and 3? Or where would you reckon the best, section would be?
Honestly, I reckon if they had picked up the reins after 3 and didn't take it in, such an overblown sci-fi action extravaganza sort of route, it could have been something special. Because can you imagine them picking up after Alien 3, and I don't know, they find some vessel or something that was linked to the Sulaco, or I don't know.
They're dead. We forget that after Alien 3, there is no more aliens. Right? The queen dies in Aliens. The planet gets nuked, so there's no eggs or anything left on that planet because that whole planet's fucked. Alien 3, there is a queen growing inside of what's his face, Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah,
but she obviously kills herself. Right?
What do they do to that ship?
Sorry?
What do they do to that ship?
What ship?
You know, the ship that they crash land on that planet, the prison planet?
That ship is still on the prison planet, but I think the what's his face, the face hugger gets burnt because that animal dies, right? The ox, I think.
Yeah.
Or the cow dies. and they burn everything else. So there's like for me, this it makes sense for me for this to be set in between either before the first Alien, with people visiting LV-426 because there's a beacon there, right? There's a beacon there, and what's his face knew about the beacon. Weyland Yutani knew about the beacon, which is why they sent them there. So someone would have had to set that beacon off and everything for them to come there and what's his face, because that's what they're doing, right? So they're out on just a normal. What are they doing?
Terraforming, aren't they?
Are they terraforming or salvaging?
I thought they were terraforming to make it livable because it's building better worlds because they work for Weyland Yutani.
Yeah, one of the two. So that they're out there doing their thing, and then they get a call from Mother saying, "Hey, you need to go here because there's a distress, and you need to go check it out." Right. So someone would have had to set that off and set that in motion to bring people there to come and rescue them.
Yeah.
So
over on the Amazon front, they've acquired a new Untitled film to star with Emily Blunt, and it's about Emily Blunt playing Kate Warne, who was the first female detective in the Pinkerton Agency in the 1850s. I myself hate the Pinkertons because they massacred my boy, John Marsden, but this is also really exciting to see as well. It's going to be an action-adventure type flick, and it's nice to see Emily Blunt being moved into that as well. I'd like to see her in more of these fast-paced romps, if you would.
Jeez. Did you say they massacred John Marsden?
Them's the Pinkertons, dog.
Did they kill Marsden? I thought Marsden lived.
In the first Red Dead.
I thought Marsden lived.
Oh, dog.
Have you not finished Red Dead Redemption?
I finished. Oh, yeah. And then his son comes back for the revenge.
Yeah.
Very good.
One of the best stories ever.
Those were Pinkertons, man. Disgusting.
More like Pinkertons.
I'm excited for it, man.
Same. I like this. This premise.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
Especially if it's like it's gritty and raw.
Yeah.
Then it's like fire.
It's going to be out west, yeah?
Yeah. Because 1850s as well.
Yeah.
But if it's like her, like Django, learning to be a Pinkerton as well?
Yeah. You know, out here in Australia, if they had Pinkertons and they saw them cunts at the pub, it would just be fucking Sinkertons.
So this is going to be like G.I. Django? It's White Django?
Maybe.
White Django is wild.
Django, fucking hell.
I hope so. I hope this is good.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Rock's producing.
But the Rock is behind this? Yeah. The Rock's behind this? With all of his guys, so that Hiram Garcia guy or whatever his name is.
It's like a $7 production.
Looks like, was it $7?
$7.
$7. $7, yeah. Could be good. I'm hoping this comes to, what's this face? Quick.
Yeah, we'll.
Pause. Yeah.
All right, and that's all the streaming news for this week. It is time to fan the hammer.
Gotcha.
So we'll kick it off now. So John Lithgow has joined Killers of the Flower Moon. He's playing a attorney for Scorsese. Avatar: The Last Airbender has set its cast over at Netflix. So we get Gordon Cormier, who was in The Stand. He's going to be playing Aang. Kia Waititi is going to be playing Katara. Ian Ousley from Physical is going to be playing Sokka. And Dallas Liu is going to be playing Zuko. So Tom Hanks' Finch will debut on Apple TV on the 5th of November. Remember, Home Sweet Home Alone. The continuation that I don't think anyone gives a fuck about, but starring Chris Parnell, so I'm in straight away. Is dropping on the 12th of November. Then we get the Aussie a new Aussie on the block there. Sam Reed is going to be playing Lestat in the interview with a vampire, not for a vampire.
Yeah.
The Kurgan himself is joining John Wick 4. Clancy Brown just got admitted on the set by Chad Stahelski. He's going to be clapping everyone because there can be only one. Idris Elba is not the one to fuck with. He's going to be playing Knuckles. Dropping a little tweet on Twitter. Knock, knock. My Hero Macadamia did huge numbers in Japan. Despite COVID-19, despite the fucking Olympics, the Japanese public turned up for this shit, breaking records. We got Brie Larson was on this podcast, I think Sirius XM, and she confirmed very seriously that the Marvels is now in production over there. Michael Keaton was talking about returning to Batman in The Flash, and then when the interviewer asked him, so how was it, jumping in that suit again after 30 years, he said, quite natural, actually. He also likened that experience on set to Multiplicity, another Keaton classic, where he played multiple versions of himself, so take from that what you will. Gina Carano is set to star in her first project post-Mando debacle called White Knuckle. So this one is about her. She survives a serial killer attack, and the serial killer is a truck driver. So she teams up with another truck driver who will possibly be the killer in the end. Benedetta, the nuns that are turning it into a whorehouse, is dropping on VOD on the 3rd of December. That one's Paul Verhoeven there. The Venom sequel was quietly delayed into September, I believe, because of the Delta variant, while Shang-Chi, and I just learned how to pronounce that from the latest trailer, Shang-Chi is keeping its date with a shortened theatrical window of 45 days before it hits Disney Plus free of charge, which here in Australia we might have to wait for. And the last bit of news there in Fan the Hammer is Emma Stone got the flash of cash from Disney and has jumped ship. She will no longer, well, it seems like anyway, she will no longer be pursuing her legal case against them to get more money out of them. And she's decided she will not rape every ruble out of Disney that she can. Because she's coming back for Cruella 2. Back in the Habit. And that is it for Fan Le Hammer.
Cruella 2. Please.
You know what I'm gonna get? The soundbite I'm gonna get from when we're back in the Habit, back in the studio here, is the fucking Law and Order din din after we finish Fan the Hammer.
Yeah, but you gotta have the gunshots and then like the Fan the Hammer.
And then at the end I'm gonna have wrap that gavel up, B.
Yeah.
Wrap it up.
Alright.
Yeah. And that's it.
That's it. Let's get into some
start on our film news.
Yep.
Alright. So the always seems like always busy Stephen Lang. I don't know how he's in two places at one time, but man's can obviously do it. Supposed to be in New Zealand and shooting What's His Face. Don't Breathe 2 at the exact same time, but he somehow pulled it off. So he, because Don't Breathe 2 is, I think it's out in the States right now. I think.
Yeah, dropped this week.
Yeah, dropped this week. Yeah, because of the release of that, he's been obviously having a chat, having a bit of a chin wag, and the subject of Avatar came up. Right, so they asked him about Avatar, and he was saying like when he finished his the last script, right? So that'd be Avatar 3.
Yeah,
shooting 2 and 3. Yeah, that'd be Avatar 3. He was crying. And he loved it. He loved how it was just an original story, and all that sort of stuff. So it seems like, it is going to be different.
I hope so.
It's not going to be Dances with Wolves.
Dances with Aliens.
Just with aliens. So we'll see how it goes. He touched on, the tech just a little bit, and he was telling the story about how Cameron was, they were trying to shoot something with depth, right?
Yeah.
He wouldn't elaborate any further on that, and they just couldn't figure out how to do it, right? And obviously things have changed because they actually left the scene. They didn't continue shooting the scene. Had this been Cameron from 97 or 93, they would have, I think, still been there shooting that scene, trying to get it right. Cameron, yeah. So Cameron, he actually stopped the scene and said, "Look, we'll pick it up later," right? And they started shooting something else, and he runs up to Lang, and he's like, I figured it out. You know what I mean? I did it. I know how we can do it. Lang has no idea what he's talking about until he explains what it is. He himself figured out the algorithm to get the depth and whatnot that he needs in the shot. Cameron did that. Cameron's a machine, man. He is a Terminator. I swear to God, that's an autobiography, that movie. And he's not Carl Reese.
Like, James Cameron seemed like the type of dude to have his bed upright so he can just get out of bed and start his day straight away.
He's John Connor. That's why the initials is JC.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
It wasn't the Jesus Christ reference. It was James Cameron. Book of James. That story about Lang reading the script just reminded me of Seagal.
I know.
This producer comes into the fucking caravan and Seagal's like crying his eyes out, and he's like, "This is the greatest script I've ever read." The producer's like, "Who wrote it?" And Seagal goes, "Me." Get the fuck out.
Fucking tall, man.
That's dumb shit.
He said that to what's his face as well on the set of The Glimmer Man. And he said it in front of what's his face, Keenan Ivory Wayans, and someone else, one of the producers. He said it.
Who takes that guy seriously?
He takes himself too seriously.
Yeah.
He needs to learn to joke, that man.
Yeah. Fuck.
Dude needs to chill, man. Fucking Steven Seagal out here wilding with that ponytail.
I almost feel with Avatar, though, like, we haven't seen anything for over 10 years now. I'm not excited about it. But I know as soon as I see that first teaser, I'm going to be like all over Avatar's nuts.
That is correct.
And you know Cameron's going to do it too. He's going to come through with the teaser for Avatar, and it's not going to show you anything. It's going to be 12 seconds long, and it's going to be like a panning shot of fucking... What's the place called again?
Pandora.
Yeah, it's going to be a panning shot of Pandora, and you'll see the back of fucking Jake Sully, and that's it for you, my friend. And Oues will hold on, claws in, for 8 more months for that next fucking trailer.
No way. Oues will be like analyzing that little 15 seconds, like look at the pause in his ass.
Literally going to be the Terminator 2 trailer, right? It's the very first teaser of Terminator 2, and they're just it's just literally a shot that's not even in the movie. they shot it specifically for the teaser, and it's just them putting Terminators together, and then you finally see Terminator at the end.
And it's Arnie.
Arnie at the end.
Fuck you know. Do you reckon them Pandorans ever get wild just destitute and they have to wipe their A with their ponytail?
Yuck. What? As if they wipe. Shit and go for them those.
Built for performance, fuck you know. Speaking of built for performance, our boy out here, Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, who I keep saying the third for some fucking reason,
My God.
is just like constantly out here just building franchises, man. We've got Black Manta. We've got a few other films on the case as well, Candyman. But now he's going back with his boy Steven Caple Jr. at Warner Brothers for a film called By All. I'm really fucking excited for this shit, man. So the gist is that where does this start? It's set in a world without police, and then Yahya is going to play this dude named Dante, and he gets implicated in something that occurs, and then everyone's after him. He's like on this big escape as well, trying to figure out what the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
Fucking, I like these on the run movies, man. I watched that Run movie with that lady from Haunting a Hill House and all that.
Oh yeah, Sarah Paulson.
Sarah Paulson, that's the one. That shit was fire.
Was it?
If it's any vibe, yeah, it was pretty good actually.
I gotta check it out.
If it's anything like that, I'll be happy, man. But fucking, there's this energy that Yahya brings every time, no matter where he is, and I just fucking love it, man. So anything that he's in, I have to see. Like, I am fucking pumped for this Candyman as well.
Yeah.
Pause.
What's gonna happen with that?
It's still saying, what is it?
August 26th.
August 26th, yeah. I don't know, man. They need to figure out who's producing the film.
Universal.
Ooh.
I've tweeted them twice now.
They might have to see if Warner will. Ooh, I don't know, actually. Internationally, it'll be alright. You know what I mean? Like for, say, the US, maybe by then.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's coming out because I've seen a clip now online. They're starting to release clips. So it's obviously still on the cards.
Fuck. Hopefully it doesn't get pushed back. It might be a VOD.
I reckon it should be. I reckon if they're going to do it, I reckon they should say, okay, well, it's going to come out where possible at the cinemas. Yeah. But where, like every other country that you can't, go to the cinema in, VOD it. I'll pay my $35. I don't care about that. But just, let me watch that fucking movie.
I know. I've waited over a fucking year for it now.
Nearly 2 years.
Champion. So, Morbius, another movie that was delayed, just had a big old cameo, spoiled by its director. So Daniel Espinosa was like, yeah, it's crazy when you see a call sheet like Jared Leto or Michael Keaton or Tom Hardy, and then he just like looks at the camera like, oh shit. So he ousted that Venom's going to cameo in this movie.
But we don't know that. You know what I mean? Like maybe he said Tom Hardy and really it was what's his face?
Tom Holland?
Tom Holland. Can you imagine if he just mixed them up in his mind?
That'd be kind of crazy.
Yeah, that'd be cool, man.
What if it's intentional misdirection?
That's what I'm thinking.
What?
Can you imagine if it's just Blade?
That'd be fucking
If that
crazy.
movie doesn't end with Blade, there needs to be something done there.
Yeah.
Like if it doesn't end with him coming through.
They were talking about like potentially expanding like the deal with Marvel and Sony. So it could just fold in completely into the MCU.
Yeah.
But can you imagine? Can you imagine it ending with just the what's his face? Like they would in a PG-13 movie, they should be able to get away with like the sprinklers of blood and whatnot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it just ending with like, the feet coming up and then panning up and it's Blade and then that's it.
What if they just got a stand-in and before it hits his face, they just like, they switch to his back and then that's it?
Could be, and you just see the sword.
Yeah.
comes up from the feet up and around to the back, and it's just the sword you can see.
Yeah, and
that'd be
follows his tattoo. Why is he shirtless? Yeah. But
it's Blade. It's Blade.
Can you imagine if he had like cool, a sleeveless trench coat?
That's disgusting.
That's fucked.
He's already got like the sleeveless vest sort of deal.
Yeah.
Right? That's always been wild to me, that look.
The sleeveless trench coat is wild, but can you imagine the t-shirt cut trench coat?
That's even worse.
That's like some anime type wear.
Yeah.
Or like some wrestler type thing to do.
Kenshiro, guys. Yeah. He's wearing a motorcycle jacket without sleeves.
Oh, fuck. You got that Omaiwa Motion Deiru shit.
All right, so we had some news about a few sequels in the works, a couple unnecessary there, but still sequels in the works. So the first one was someone sat down, I think Yahoo TV sat down with Brian May, the guitarist from Queen, and God knows why, but they asked him about a sequel to Bohemian Rhapsody. And Brian May came through and said, we're working on it. You know what I mean? So we don't want to just like pump something out, but it needs to be really special. And sort of watch this space. Which, in turn, I was like, I don't know how they can continue this movie. I don't want to see a movie about them trying to find a replacement for Freddie Mercury.
I know, how boring.
It's kind of trash.
Badly.
Yeah. The other sequel people were talking about was Terminator 7, right? So Galen Hurd sat down with someone and they asked her about the potential of a sequel to, was it Dark Fate?
Yeah.
Was the last one? Yeah.
Yeah.
And she said, well, she wasn't a producer on that movie, on the last one. And, she remembers being on some remote island somewhere. I can't remember where. And people were getting excited and watching a bootleg copy of the first Terminator.
Yeah.
So, she sees the appeal for the movie, but, sort of they're watching to see what happens and waiting. And the last one was the Justice League, right? So, is it Charles Roven?
Yeah.
Yeah, Charles Roven was speaking to someone, and he was talking about a sequel to Justice League, which is kind of weird because these guys have now said that was it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, and I don't think it's going to be a sequel to the Snyder Cut. I think it's going to be a completely new Justice League that they're putting together.
Yeah.
So he didn't actually say a Justice League 2. He actually says a new Justice League movie. So, I don't know, with all the stuff that we're seeing now, with the TV shows and everything, I expect there to be a new Justice League being put together.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to get the Black Superman, all that jazz.
God, is there two Black Supermans?
Yeah.
Like, is there Michael B. Jordan's version and there's the other version?
Yeah.
Ta-Nehisi Coates? Yeah.
Oh.
We got two Black Supermans. That's weird. Two Black Supermans, a Black Green Lantern.
Yeah.
Hopefully. And, in the CW shows, the Green Lantern's daughter shows up now?
Oh, yeah? What's she want?
Yeah. I don't know. She's got the lantern.
It's weird that they would choose to, make the daughter.
Yeah. There's no nepotism in that. Like, the Ring chooses. Why would the Ring choose Hal Jordan's daughter? It makes no sense.
Taught her to be fearless. I don't know. I don't know the character. I don't know.
But yeah, that was it. Those are all the unnecessary sequels that nobody's gonna go watch.
No, and like my respect for Brian May is up there. You know what I mean? But when they were making the first Bohemian Rhapsody, and then he was saying, "Well, we wanted to kill Freddie off in the first 45 minutes, and then have the rest of the movie about how the band carried on afterwards." I was like, "Get the fuck out of here!" Like the meat and potatoes is with Freddie.
Those guys were too boring.
Yeah.
That's what it came down to. Those guys were too boring. I'd love to see if they did do a Bohemian Rhapsody, the way that he, like the movie for me started after his AIDS
Diagnosis.
Yeah. Like, and to see that process then. So to honestly see less of the band stuff and see it focus more on Freddie and how he sort of handled that whole time, because he lived for what, like a bit after that, right?
Yeah, after the Live Aid performance, I think he was alive for 2 or 3 more years and then passed away. Yeah, it's not like he died straight after the Live Aid. It's like the last thing that he did. Yeah, Rami Malek's not coming back for this. You know what I mean?
No, not at all.
Oh, he's gonna fuck up like the movie that won him an Oscar with this? Nah, that ain't happening.
Yeah. Can't be, man. But on updates on films that we do think are necessary, we have Taika Waititi going through talking about his update on his Star Wars film. He said everything seems to be on the way for that to be the next project that he's actually working with as well, which I'm really excited about because the way that Taika describes it is that it's very him, and that's what I want to see is a Taika Star Wars film, because I reckon that'll be perfect. He also talks about, trying to get Akira off the ground and things like that. He said it's still in the works, but it is very much on the back burner right now, but he'd love to actually put something together for it. But right now his priorities are stuck with Star Wars, and his comfort zone is that he has a lot on his plate. So my guess is that Akira is there, but he's still got something else to do after Star Wars as well, because he's still he produces for What We Do in the Shadows and everything there as well.
Reservation Dogs.
He does stuff.
Reservation Dogs. Did you guys watch it yet?
No, did you?
No.
It should be on Hulu. Yeah.
It's on Stan, I think. I think it just dropped on Stan as well. I've heard good things about it. I heard it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
He was on Jimmy Kimmel, but I think Kimmel's on leave right now, so Sarah Silverman was there. And she interviewed Taika because of Reservation Dogs. He was saying that the Maoris and the Native Americans, it's very, very similar, the cultures. You know what I mean? He was saying like the boys in like the characters in Reservation Dogs basically grew up like that.
Shit.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
I want to check it out. Probably before I have to binge it in a week or something like that. So I might just start it this week. Should be good. All right, and that's it for film news this week. All right, let's go straight into trailers. So we got our first look at the Witcher anime, The Nightmare of the Wolf, which focuses on Vesemir. And it's a young Vesemir. It's not like old man Vesemir. It's like his journey. It looks like it goes into Witcher origins, and then he's very similarly aided by a witch as well, like Geralt's journey. And I wonder if that's the foreshadowing and the padding that they're putting in there to make him sympathetic to Geralt when they do hit. I want to say Cormier, but it's not Cormier. Is it Cairmorn?
Cairmorn. Yeah.
Cairmorn.
Hopefully, man.
Looks alright.
This does look good, though.
Looks like Castlevania.
Yeah. It's got that same style.
Yeah. So this will probably, I don't know where they're sticking for canon material. But you've always had the enclave of witches, so this will be interesting to see what Vesemir actually gets into as well.
Yeah.
Because they, much like the show, they just get sent off to kings and their royal advisors and whatnot. So yeah, seeing what they fucking do in the shadows will be sick.
Yep.
And we got our first little trailer for Midnight Mass as well. So this is over at Netflix, directed by, or show run by Mike Flanagan. Yeah. And so this one revolves around this guy that's he's left this town and comes back, and then freaky shit starts happening in the town. Yeah, people start dying. And he's obviously, suspect number one. So they're sort of investigating what's going on. But this one looks kind of freaky, man.
Yeah.
Like, this has got that, what's that other Netflix movie that Evans did? With the preacher?
Oh, The Apostle.
The Apostle feel, yeah.
I also got, like, Needful Things feels from this.
Yeah.
That's
what I felt like as well.
Apparently, when that guy comes back, because he's like the black sheep of that town, this island town. When he comes back, this priest also like sets up shop there on the island as well, and then all these like miraculous events start happening. Like you seen in the trailer, like the pets dying and shit like that, and it just like it looks like he's coercing people. Much like Leland Gaunt did.
I might actually watch Needful Things tonight, to be honest.
I want that director's cut.
And then you're never going to get it.
No, I know.
You might not get it, actually. They just reopened up Castle Rock, so maybe someone's got it.
I hope so,
maybe
man.
they're working on it.
They do a 4K of that? Fire.
Fire.
Very true. We got I was going to say, we got the trailer for Japanese Cube as well. This one looks pretty good. Just a quick minute-long trailer. Bit of the same, but looks like we're getting finally a remake of this, man. I was actually, when I was saying before, all I remember from the first one is just that dude getting cut into cubes. No pun intended. So it'll be nice to see like the new take on this as well, especially a foreign take.
They did it before Resident Evil as well.
It looks like it's carrying over those Japanese sensibilities, like with tone and the seriousness of it. I like the roundup of characters too. Like that worked well in Cube, especially when they added like the 13-year-old kid in there. I'm in, man.
How did that first Cube end?
Remember the guy that was autistic?
It was just multiple cubes? Am I thinking about something else?
That might be Hypercube. I don't know. But what they find out at the end is if they just stayed in that first cube that they're in, they would have like made it out to the end altogether. But the villain in the cube comes back and kills that guy, the hero of the story, and then the autistic guy, the genius, he actually makes it out. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It looks good though, man.
Yeah, we got our first trailer. So what was it?
I said it does look good. Japanese Cube.
Yeah, I'm excited. Like Japanese for me is always, sometimes it might even be better than the American. You know what I mean? Like it's weird when like a Japanese remake will always feel, if not as good or better than the original, if it's an American property, right?
Yeah.
But if you try to do it the other way around, it doesn't work. Yes, it worked once for Ring, but that was it. After the second one, it was just like, what's going on here? We got our first trailer for Worth, man. This looks damn good.
Yeah.
Damn good.
Michael Keaton.
Netflix is in their back. They're winning the Oscars for this one.
Straight away, I thought of Spotlight.
But it's got that feel, right?
Yeah.
Because it's the same producers of Spotlight.
Of course, they got to cast Keaton. Keaton's where it's at.
Of course. So this, he's the big commodity this year.
Yeah.
right? So this follows a story about, it's a true story, about Michael Keaton's character is a lawyer, right? And the government taps his company to fulfill sort of these bereavement payments to victims of 9/11. Yep. Right, so this movie's set just after the towers went down, and they need to figure out the worth of, you know, some of the relationships and whatnot of the people that died in that building, yep, in that terror attack. Like, it's wild, man.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And then you've got like Tucci, who's deserved a bloody Oscar for a while now.
Yeah.
And his wife was in the tower, one of the towers when it went down, right? So he's sort of fighting against this whole thing that they're trying to do.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to lowball these people.
Yeah, or like trying to work out the compensation based on the relationship, and everyone's kind of going, well, why aren't we getting the same?
Exactly.
This is like, it's really, really sort of, it's good drama. You know what I mean? And I also liked seeing, like when they tackle the 9/11 attack, it almost seemed like it was from the perspective of someone that was looking at it but not in it.
Yeah.
Because straight away it took me back to when I first heard about it, and I didn't even see it on TV. I seen it, I heard about it through like school. I went to school that day.
I went to school late that day. I think I started at like 10:40. So by the time that, you know, I got up and got ready for school and everything, those towers were fucking coming down, man.
Yeah.
And it was so weird to see it on TV. You know what I mean? Like, how does that happen? Like, it was weird to me to see that happen in America. Like, being like, you know, from Australia and from South Africa, like, we hold America like, you know, like nothing bad can sort of happen.
Yeah.
And to see that happen was like, it was amazing.
It legit stopped the world.
It really did. It also, it was like they can get touched as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it was, they weren't gods. They can get touched as well. They can bleed as well. It was so weird, man.
Yeah. I'm in for this. This, like, it looked more of like that legal drama that I love.
This,
like the investigation.
This is my type of movie. Yeah, the investigation is my type of movie. But this comes out when? September 23rd, I think, or something, something like
September
that.
3rd, like early September.
Yeah. Thank God. It's not too far away. But yeah, I'm in for this movie. Because I haven't gone now and sort of investigated to see what sort of went on with this whole story now. So yeah. I'll probably wait and see, and then see what they came up with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See the truth.
It's weird as well, because this is before, like, they got the rights for, which is crazy, they got the rights for gay marriage, right? Mm-hmm. So you do get to see some guy in there that's obviously a partner of another gay person, like saying, look, like, you know, in the eyes of the law, we weren't together, but that was my partner.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that literally my partner. And how they would sort of, they're going to go about justifying that. Yeah. Interesting, man. Very interesting.
Fuck. I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
We got our first trailer for Denzel Washington's Journal for Jordan, which, like, I don't know. It just seems sappy as all fuck. I just wasn't, like, I wasn't there for it. Sorry, I don't know if it's just a trailer. It felt like the fucking, like a Hallmark movie.
I was just about to say very Hallmarky.
It was like, what's going on here? Yeah. They showed Michael B. Jordan with his shirt off. They're really trying with this movie.
I always find
and Denzel makes really good movies, right? So Denzel, like the Antoine Fisher movie was great. The what's his face Fences was awesome. Like, what is going on here, man?
Look at this trailer.
Like, why would you dip into your time? It feels like it should have been a Tyler Perry movie, this movie.
Yeah, it does actually.
Always find
it
got that feel.
Always find it tacky when someone else speaks like right at the end of the credit for the trailer. And it's like, and you just hear Denzel exclusively in theaters.
Yeah, like mate, let it go. This movie's not going to do. It's not going to do numbers. This movie, no, it's not.
All the elements are there though. Like if you're going after the female demographic, you got Michael B. Jordan in there. You got something for the kids. You got something for the dads.
But you know what? You know what's crazy though is that this movie feels like one of those movies where it's great as a book because it's a true story. It's based on a book, right? This feels great as a book, but as a movie, this does not work. It doesn't work at all.
What if the twist at the end is like Michael B. Jordan comes he comes back like after what's his face, like Brothers, where they think Tobey Maguire is dead, but then he comes back and finds his brother with his missus.
That's disgusting, really.
No way.
That's disrespectful.
It's the highest disrespect. I don't know what it is.
Even if the man is dead, you just don't go there.
Exactly.
Stay away.
But it happens. It happens. So I'm not gonna shit on anyone that doesn't.
No,
that's life. Life's twisted.
Yeah.
I just wouldn't.
Wait, goddammit. We got the trailer for the new Cage Wage flick, Prisoners of the Ghostland. This actually fucking looks alright, man. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, fucking. So apparently Nick Cage in this movie is the man you get to do the job that's almost impossible. Yep. And he's been tasked to find
John Wick.
Yeah,
is what he is.
And he's tasked to find this guy's, I think his daughter or wife or something like that.
Yeah, daughter.
But But the thing is that he's like armed Cage with these explosives on his neck and arms and his balls. And he's got 5 days to find his daughter. And you see Cage going through this like dystopian fucking wasteland. But then it's almost like he moves into this desert, like Japanese-inspired fucking area where he's trying to find the daughter. And it looks alright, man. And some of the fight scenes in here look fire as well.
Could be good. Could be like a sleeper.
Yeah. Could be.
This is
the same.
Go on.
Oh. I was going to say, this is the same guys who produced Mandy and all that, isn't it? Or the creators or something like that?
Yeah.
So, I'm expecting some wild shit.
This is 2021's version of Wedlock, right?
Yeah.
Cage is in his bloody what's-his-face bag right now. His Rutger Hauer bag. Cage has become the new Rutger.
True. Fuck, I didn't think of it like that. Wasn't like Wedlock also like Fortress?
That movie is like the very start of The Running Man. It's like Fortress. It's like everything. That movie.
Escape from Absalom.
You know what I mean? Escape from Absalom, or what's it called over here? Well, not over here. In the US.
It's actually got a title.
It's actually got a title, yeah. But yeah, it does look good to me.
I'm in, man. I'm in. And then the last trailer for the week there is a scene-for-scene remake of Night of the Living Dead, George A. Romero's classic. This one's called Night of the Animated Dead, which maintains a lot of the same feel, lines, everything, but it's just animated. It looks like it's semi-rotoscoped.
Yeah, it's got that the Walking Dead game look about it.
It's almost like cell shaded. Looks alright. I haven't watched the original Night of the Living Dead.
Me neither.
I might give that a watch. That was like a groundbreaking movie. Can you believe that shit came out late 60s?
Man. Fuck. It's the social commentary in there is crazy as well.
Yeah, and black protagonist.
He is the first, nearly the first, right? black leading man on screen.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's wild.
I like the way Ramiro did that, though, because he was like, well, he's the best actor. Wasn't about race.
Ramiro didn't care about race and all that other nonsense. It was who can service my movie the best. That's what it's supposed to be.
And that's all the trailers for the week.
Mm-hmm.
All right, getting into that entertainment news. So, with No Time to Die. Sorry,
No Time
not Die Another Day. So because it's been pushed back so many times, that initial spend on No Time to Die has kind of escalated. So initially, it was like a $295 million fucking movie, which is a lot of dollars for Mr. Bond to recoup back at the cinemas already. But then a year later, we're looking at, like, with interest, $315 million. When you tack on like half the film's budget, so another $150 million for advertising, like, it becomes this $450 million fucking behemoth that has to perform massively at the box office. So I think Sony's still handling this one. They're looking at possibly having to make $900 million for this film to break even. So during pandemic era, like, that shit seems unlikely unless you're doing a multiple, like, platform drop. If you're doing theatrical, if you're doing VOD, you could have a shot at getting that sort of money, even if it's like rental at first, like rental exclusive, and then getting into like the ownership or home video side of it. In comparison, Fast 9 has only made, I say only loosely, just in comparison, $643 million.
Yep. $643 million, and then they get to, sell those rights to who? Netflix, more than likely, because it's Universal. Netflix will give them a nice chunk of change for the rest of that movie. And then you have DVD and Blu-ray sales and TV deals after that, right? This movie's not making that money.
No.
I think that when they had the chance to sell the movie to Netflix, they should have done that shit, man.
Yeah.
Just said, okay, well, we're not going to make any money. We're not going to lose any money. Our budget's at zero. We sell this movie to Netflix for $450 million. That's it. Done.
Yeah. That's wild, man. Like, you wouldn't want those stakes. Not in a pandemic. I wouldn't expect that either. Like, they weren't counting on the Delta variant, obviously. No one was. Like, we all thought it was opening back up, and a year later it would be sorted. But nah.
Yeah.
This is the position that we're in, which is probably why we're seeing so many other movies get delayed and fucking, like, pushed back and stuff. But it's just, like, people need to understand, like, we're still in a pandemic. We're not out of it. Don't count on your movie performing.
Very true.
I understand. All right. It's the last piece of news for the week there.
Yep.
All right. So Tom Hardy was talking to someone, right? Some publication. And he said, like, he's very keen, like really, really keen on Spider-Man joining, or at least Venom joining the Spider-Man movie. What is it? Spider-Man multi-universe something. Spunk, whatever it is, right? Yeah. So he's really pushing for that. And it's like he's hoping that in a third Venom film, hoping that, this does well enough, the second one, Let There Be Carnage, that they're able to go through and include Spider-Man and have him, be in the next film.
Sure.
He's really pushing for that.
Yeah, I'd like...
Which is... I don't know. We'll see what they do. for me, it all depends on, you know, how this second one is compared to the first one. The first one's an okay movie. You know what I mean? It's not the best movie. It's not a terrible movie. It's an okay movie.
Yeah. It ticks all the superhero boxes, definitely. But I wonder what it's gonna... Like, I wonder if that's why they keep the character of Eddie Brock in Seattle. They're in Seattle, aren't they? Or in Philly? They in Philly?
They were in Seattle, yeah.
No,
not Seattle, San Fran. They're in San Fran.
So I wonder if they keep him in San Francisco so that when the deal does go through, he all of a sudden moves to New York and, like, he's at the Daily Bugle.
Well, it's weird now because right now he's at the Bugle. In the second one, they say that he's at the Bugle.
Oh.
So if he's at the Bugle, he's encountered, well, I don't know if Peter's already selling photos, but if he is, he's encountered Peter Parker already. Right?
Maybe we'll see after No Way Home.
Yeah. Because he was in that story, he was over in Boston before, right? He was over in Boston, obviously working. Boston is a 4 or 5 hour train ride or car ride away from New York City. So that would make sense that he's working over at the Bugle there. But he had his own show and everything, right? But yeah, the Bugle features heavily in this second one. So I'm hoping.
Yeah, same. I wouldn't mind it. You know what I mean? If they had the right property for them to team up in.
Yeah.
Because Venom does play heavy in Spider-Man lore.
Yeah. Well, if they introduce Venom, they introduce that black suit. Yeah.
And that's
that whole storyline gets introduced.
Yeah.
Right.
It makes sense. And, like, I like that Tom Hardy's actually gunning for this. You know what I mean? Because
I like that the studios aren't gunning for it. I like that he's gunning for it because it makes for a better story then. Right?
And he really believes in the character. I mean, a lot of the beats and stuff like that in Venom, like, it didn't work for me, but, like, I haven't watched it in a really long time.
Yeah. But we'll see. But it's cool though, man, because if he does come over, that means he comes over into the MCU as well. So to see Venom interact with the new guys and all that sort of stuff, and I mean, he's an alien essentially, an alien symbiote. Like there's ways to use that.
That's it.
You know what I mean? Like, I mean, Mr. Fantastic could use that, but they could use the pieces of the symbiote for something. You know what I mean? Like. Yeah, it just opens up that world a little bit more. You know, especially with Marvel going so cosmic now.
Yeah,
like it kind of makes sense.
Yeah,
to do that.
Fucking oath, I'd be there.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yep. All right, that's it for entertainment news and all the news this week.
Yeah, that's a wrap.
Let's get into it, fellas. What you watch there, Bado?
So I finished off season 7 and 8 of Game of Thrones. I've been running through them.
Really running through them? Shit.
Really running through them.
As being busy.
You know what's weird is that when I watched it, when it was on TV, right? Like, I always thought that Bran disappeared for whole seasons and we didn't see him. And
yeah.
But watching it, like, you know, back to back now, like, you know, he's in there quite a bit, Bran.
Yeah.
The old Brandon Stark. He's in there a bit.
Yeah. I think it was the end of season 7 that he was kind of missing. And then he appears at the end of season 7.
No. Season 7, he's in there nearly from the second episode, because he finds out that, you know, he knows obviously that they take Winterfell. They took Winterfell. They took it back. He comes back obviously because he's the last living. He's the last living son of Ned Stark. So he had to come back to Winterfell.
What are your thoughts on the series as a whole after watching it like the way you watched it? It was the first time that you've like run through it like in order.
Yeah, this is only the second time I've watched it. It was good. I did enjoy it. Just that ending, the ending for me is always, I still don't like it.
I love that ending. I really do.
I don't like it. Like we were talking about it, right? So we were saying like, what is Jon Snow even in the Night's Watch anymore now?
I think he is, because that's his punishment for killing Daenerys.
Yeah, but it's almost like no punishment. He shouldn't even get punishment. She was a tyrant. She needed to be put down anyway. But it almost feels like he becomes now Mance Rayder.
Maybe later on down
Mance Rayder was part of the Night's Watch, went through did something. I think he was raiding with the Night's Watch, got caught behind the lines, becomes the king behind the wall. Yeah. I don't know.
I'm there for it. I like it.
Yeah. I was going to ask you, so Master Aemon, is that story about him, the new story, or is that set way before him?
Duncan Egg.
Aemon. Yeah. Is that Aemon Targaryen?
Yeah. Aegon Targaryen.
That's Aegon.
Yeah. I know. That would have been cool.
Because he is, what's-his-face's brother? The Mad King's brother, who could have been king.
Yeah.
But chose not to, which is wild, right? Because he was the older brother. He should have been king.
So then you kind of wonder if he had stepped into that role of king, what it would have been like. But I kind of like that his character lived with that and sort of felt peace at his decision. Because that's not what he wanted. It almost seemed like the whole show, like, what you want isn't what you get.
No. It's always something you don't want is what you get, right? Yeah. So Bran didn't want to be king, so he became king. Yeah. Tyrion didn't want to be anyone's hand anymore, but he became the hand. I just wish Charles Dance was in there until the end.
Same.
To be honest.
Loved his character.
Oh man, Tywin Lannister was just everything, the delivery, everything. Right? It's just perfect.
To be honest, I didn't like Tywin, but I loved how Charles Dance played him. Like that shit was cool.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm all done now. I need to find something else to watch. See how we go. I watched A Quiet Place 2 as well.
Very good.
That was pretty good on 4K. Quite good. I watched BVS finally. That Ultimate Edition or whatever.
The IMAX scenes?
Yeah, with the IMAX scenes.
Very good.
Finally watched them hit. Yeah. It wasn't as much IMAX scenes as I expected.
No, I think there's only like the start and then like a couple of scenes at the end there.
Yeah. And the last thing I watched was 13 Hours.
Very good.
Which was damn good.
Big Krasinski blowout at the end there, pause.
Oh, man. It was so good, that 13 Hours, man. And on like 4K, next level,
Is
man. It? That's a next level Blu-ray.
I gotta check that shit out, man. Because that's that Michael Bay saturation levels that you ain't never seen before.
Yeah, man. Just need to cap it off with The Rock, and then I'm set. Yeah, that was it. That was my week.
That's mad. You watch anything there?
Did you watch that?
T-balls? No.
Nothing, man.
Chill. What about Rand? Didn't you watch Rand?
I watched that ages ago, man.
So I watched Suicide Squad again just in time for the review that just dropped. I watched It Chapter 1 and It Chapter 2. Why It Chapter 2 always kind of fall off? Like they just they depart so far from the book that what could have been is better than what we got. Because the cast they fucking nail it.
Because they what's his face, man? It doesn't feel like it's cut together correctly. That's what it is.
It's almost like they're missing huge chunks out of that movie.
Yeah. But those huge chunks are in the first movie. So that's why it feels so disjointed. Yeah. That's why the miniseries works so well the way that it does. Yeah. The back and forth works so well for that movie.
Yeah.
And that's what we need. We need that back and forth. We need it to be recut.
Yeah. Hopefully they do. Like, I want, just like the It omnibus.
Yeah.
Hopefully we get that shit. I went back and I watched Birds of Prey, the Harley Quinn movie. Yeah.
What did you think?
I actually really enjoyed it this time. So I went in there sort of, I think knowing that I didn't like it the first time, but really enjoying it. I know I owe a lot of apologies to people because I shit on this movie so many times. But it's the movie that actually pushes Harley forward the most as a character. It worked for me this time. I don't know if the movie grew better or I just grew up a bit more. Just had time to sort of think about it. I watched Hard Target, so that's the next movie in Just Action, July and August there, which always hits. And then I watched the first episode of What If.
How was this?
What If was the story that I didn't know I wanted, but when I got it, I wanted more of it. So it's the Peggy Carter becoming Captain Britain. And it worked, man. Fuck, it was good. I just loved it.
I'm gonna check
watch it. There's bits in there that I was like, fuck, this is crazy. If they continued the story on a bit more, I'd be in for a 2 or 3 episode arc. All the characters are back, and you see everyone in different capacities. So I really enjoyed it. I'm really excited for the rest of the story. So I don't know much about it. I know some scenarios and stuff, but yeah.
So is it just one? Okay, we're going to do this story end to end. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I think it's all the different movies in the MCU, but then they sort of rebrand everything, which is mad. Yeah, that was it.
Quite a good week there.
I know. It's a stellar week compared to the other ones that have passed. But that's a wrap on everything. So you can reach us on all streaming platforms. Check us out on all of our social media, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. We're there every day. We're on YouTube as well as Logo Smith Media. Also check us out at Spreaker under Logo Smith Media where we host our podcast. We've got new content every week. There's at least something. Next week we're back with Reminiscence. So the Hugh Jackman Blade Runner poster having creators of Westworld made one that I don't know who directed it, but it looks alright. It's got Rebecca Ferguson in there, Andy Newton.
Rebecca Ferguson, if she's not cast as Ivy, is going to be the biggest waste.
People fucking burn the building down.
You burn the fucking place down. Only Hoffman could have delivered that line the way that he delivered it.
Fuck, that's gold.
Burn the fucking place down.
You guys watching Coda? What about that?
I want to watch Coda.
The other...
And that Beckett? What's it called? Beckett? Is it Beckett?
Yeah, Beckett. Or Becca.
Yeah, not Becca.
I'm not going to get white-faced Ted dance. So take care of yourself. Love yourselves. Love movies. See you next week there.
Get vaccinated.
Sir, vape more, smoke less, and wash your ass.